Thank you for turning to page 121. Welcome back to page 121. In today's game break, we're going to play a game with good, wholesome robot-on-robot action. Giant walking robots attacking each other with a human pilot inside. I'm talking Battletech. Battletech, the game of armored combat. Battletech, just lots of fun. Game of blowing stuff up. I'm going to go a little bit into the history of Battletech and what a battle mech is, as in battle mechanic or battle mechanism. So, get ready for game break. Let's play Battletech. Okay, getting back to the video, we're going to do today's video a little differently. I'm going to just show you some sweeping panoramic views of this little battlefield I set up. There's a mech firing his jump jets, going up into the air. He's going to cross the river. Got other mechs getting in defensive positions to defend the city, and assaulting mechs coming out of the woods. The idea behind Battletech is you are piloting a giant robot, a big machine that weighs anything from 20 tons up to 100 tons. The bigger the mech, the better the armor, the better the weaponry. The game plays on 2x6 and is actually very simple to play and incredibly complicated in its detail. So I've been playing Battletech since 1990. Game started in about 84 as a kind of a book game more than a dice game at the time. But the Battletech rules for the actual robot play came up in the later 80s. And by 90, they were already updating and revising Battletech a little bit to include a group called the Clans, which was basically just a game changer for Battletech. Gave an opportunity to upgrade the storyline and, very honestly, to put in stronger mechs and new rules. Battletech is amazing in that it's been around for over 35 years, and for most of the time, its core rules haven't changed. If you have an older set of the Battletech rules, with a few exceptions, you can play Battletech right now. I have the current rule book, the Battletech Battle Mech Manual. This one is just mech on mech combat. There's a couple of others out there that'll give you different combats and a different way to fight tanks and hovercraft and all kinds of stuff. There's also the Battletech, a game of armored combat. I may do a review of this set in a little, another video. But the advantage of this one is it comes with 8 battle mechs. So if you get this set, which is $59.99, sometimes you can find it for a deal on places like Amazon. But if you get that set, you automatically have 8 mechs. You're ready to go. Battletech is often compared to Warhammer. And I'm here to tell you, I play both games, and I'm here to tell you, Battletech has great flavor. It's not nearly as complex a game as Warhammer, but it has good complexity. It's got a deep, rich lore, like Warhammer has. This game has been around, as I said, for over 35 years. And it's got a lot of novels that have been written in the Battletech universe and a ton of other fan fiction and short story fiction professionally made. Battletech is currently being published by Catalyst Game Labs, which is, I'll show you their logo, which is has been really good. They're very good with support. They put out excellent products. They sell battle mechs. They sell pretty much everything you would ever need to play the game. So as you can see, I have it set up on a hexless terrain. Each movement is in inches. So if a mech can move forward 4 inches, you simply take a tape measure. This guy wants to move forward. He's going to do 6. He turns. That costs him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He has to line up his shot, because line of sight is everything in Battletech. You need to be able to see to shoot. I've got this guy sitting up here. He's a rifleman, and he's going to be long-range support, but he's hunkered down behind a building, which gives him some protection against being shot in turn. So the game itself is played on 2x6, as I said. There are to hits are modified by range to target, and by your movement, by your target's movement, and other type of obscuring terrain. I'm not going to go into a bunch on the actual way to play the game in this video, simply to say this is a really fun game. If you're looking for a fun game with a deep universe, this is a game for you. Uh, the old Battletech, before the clans started out, there were 5 old houses that were competing to control resources in a world of the far future where civilization had not collapsed but had become very balkanized into the 5 great ruling houses holding influence over a number of planets. And the idea is you work for one of the houses or a mercenary company or a rogue, a bandit, and you fight each other. You can do full stories with Battletech. I have done entire campaigns. It lends itself very nicely to that. And the game itself is also very simple as far as starting mechanics. As I showed you the movement, now I would fire, if I'm firing, for instance, a large laser, and I'm firing it at this gentleman here. He doesn't have a large laser. I'll fire my long-range missile 20 at this gentleman. This gentleman would be medium range for me. So for me, I've got a pilot. I did not walk. My gunnery skill is a 3 out of potentially 5. My opponent walked, so that gives him a modifier of 1. So that moves me to a 4. I'm at medium range, becomes 2 more, so that's a 5-6. I take 2 dice 6. I throw. My long-range missiles hit right there, and on an 8, so now I would inflict damage. The way the damage chart flows in Battletech is pretty neat. I'm going to show you a battle mech, or Battletech sheet. These are the actual mech sheets. Each sheet comes with all these little pips to fill in, all these little circles, and all the damage you can do down there. If you like to doodle and fill in squares, or circles, this is your game. And I actually like doing this. One of my favorite aspects of the game, weird as it sounds. So now that I've done my damage, we would find out how much damage I did, and then we would allocate it to each of these sections. As I penetrate through the sections, we go down to the critical hit table, and this mech would take damage and start losing some of its functionality and eventually be destroyed. A typical game of Battletech with, I have 5 mechs on one side here and 3 on the other. This game with experienced players would take something like an hour to 2 hours to play. More like 2. And it can be as quick as you want or as slow as you want. You can do very detailed campaigns where you have to capture objectives, or you can just do a fight where you just slaughter each other. So, and Battletech, as I said, has a lot of deep lore. They have a tremendous amount of source books going back all the way to the 80s through the 90s. And Catalyst Game Labs also puts out some current very nice resource books. And like I said, the comparison to Warhammer is fair. Warhammer is definitely more expensive because there are many more units to buy, more time consuming for more units to assemble and paint. And I don't know, I like the relative simplicity of Battletech. As I say, I've been playing this game since 90. Used to be part of a big Battletech core group where we played a lot at one of our friendly local game stores. We used to run tournaments. I used to do tutorials on how to play the game. In fact, I'll be going this Saturday to a tutorial on how to play the game at Games Plus in Mount Prospect. If you've never been there, I recommend them highly. It's a great game store. They're doing a How to Play Battletech on Saturday. I'm going up there with my sons, and we're going to sit in and either play or just watch. We all know how to play. We've all played for many years, but it's still fun to go to Battletech events. So that's a little look at Battletech, a little bit a look at the terrain. The other way you can play Battletech is with hex sheets. I'll show those in a future video, and that is the way that a lot of people prefer to play. It's really anybody's choice. I prefer to play hexless. I feel it's just a little cleaner looking, a little more immersive, but I certainly understand folks that like the hex play also. I've played both ways. So that's really it for today's quick look at Battletech. If you've never tried it, grab a friend, grab a robot, a pencil, some dice, and have at it. I recommend it completely. It's a fun game. My group does play this game still. We play it a couple of times a year, usually a week or 2 in a row. We'll crack out the old battle mechs and we'll have at it. So that's really it for today's game break. I just wanted to show show off a little bit my little Battletech setup here. Some of my buildings, my trees, the little flight stand, and the battle mechs themselves. Uh, it's just a fun game. I recommend it completely. It's very immersive. It has the battle mechs as you see. There are little statues you can get for it. There are custom dice that are based on the houses, and it's a game that you can really get very deep into if that's how you choose to game. So that's it for today's game break. And thank you for watching page 121, and I'll see you next time. Well, that closes the book on another episode of page 121. Please leave your comments below, and if you enjoyed what you saw, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.